Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Michael Pollack from Philadelphia. About 1700 years ago, the rabbis of the Talmud told a story about Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great once sat by a stream, and a very pleasant smell overwhelmed him, and he followed that smell up the stream until he arrived at the gates of the Garden of Eden. And he demanded at the gates of Eden that he be let in. But the guardians of Eden said, "This is the gate of God, only the righteous may enter, and you are not righteous." Alexander said, "At least give me something so I can show people that I was here." And an eyeball was given to Alexander, and he took the eyeball and he put it on a scale to weigh it. And on the other side of the scale, he put gold, and he put the eyeball on the other side, and the eyeball was heavier. So he added more gold to the other side of the scale, and more silver and more jewels, but the eyeball was still heavier. And so he went to the rabbis and he said, "What does this mean?" And they told him, "Your eye is never satisfied, no matter how much you take. As it says in Proverbs chapter 27, death and destruction are never satisfied." Our endless greed for gold and power keeps us out of Eden. Our hunger for power must give way to voting rights and democracy, because the path to paradise is not greed and violence, it is love and democracy. In Pennsylvania, we have a 23-point money out, people in state level policy platform that would create a democracy in Pennsylvania. And if this federal voting rights bill passes, it would check off about 6 policies from our state platform, because we need a federal intervention. We need federal action to get automatic voter registration, same-day registration, early voting, exposure of dark money, the expansion and strengthening of vote by mail, and independent redistricting in Pennsylvania. Our gerrymandering problem in PA is so bad and expansive that our legislature is going to try to gerrymander our state Supreme Court. They're not just gerrymandering the legislative branch, they're going after the judicial branch. I actually just got back from DC. I was there with the hunger striking kids from Arizona. And as the senator from Arizona walked into the Senate on Thursday, she scowled at us. She scowled at us because how dare we challenge corrupted power? And I'm not proud of what I did in reaction, but what I did was I turned and, frankly, I farted in her general direction. And it did not smell like Eden. Not proud of this. But despite the courage and the bravery of all the hunger strikers that were there and everybody across the country who's been pushing this bill forward, we do not yet have the movement we need to win, but we're getting there, and we will get there. We need to keep building the movement. We need to keep organizing and developing leaders and fighting our way past the greed and the violence and the corruption of the cinemas and the mansions and the too many others that stand in the way of our pathway toward Eden. We need to move forward toward the paradise that we know we can build together. Forward together, and see you all on June 18th.
We welcome you to the launch of the Mass Poor People's Low Wage Assembly and Moral March on Washington, D.C., June 18, 2022.
And we need to do it with the biggest actions possible.
Because we know the only scarcity is the moral will to do what's right.
Veterans across this nation say enough is enough.
My voice is just as valuable as anyone else's.
We need the third Reconstruction.
We have an immoral system run by immoral people.
But together we fight.
And we become an agent of change.
We're rising up to demonstrate the compelling power that we, poor and low-income people, have to reconstruct society from the bottom up.
It's time for a change.
We are people of resilience.